Hey everyone, it's Congressman Joaquin Castro representing San Antonio, my hometown, and I'm back in Texas this week. Last week, when all the news broke about Liam Conejo Ramos and his father being taken from Minnesota and put in the Dilley Detention Center in Texas, I told you that I was going to do everything that I could to make sure that I had a chance to go to Dilly and to visit with he and his father and make sure they're okay and also demand their release. And so we have a confirmed visit scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, at Dilly. And so I'll be going, and Jasmine Crockett will be going, along with members of our staff, to visit with Liam and with his father. And I know folks, when I did my original post, they said, why can't you go right away? Remember, courts have allowed Donald Trump to impose a 7-day notice requirement for members of Congress to get into these facilities. They're basically like prisons. You can't just walk in there. And so, fortunately, I had put notice in on Tuesday of last week. And so I was going to go inspect this place, and then all of this happened. So I'm looking forward to visiting with them. My staff and I have been in touch with his legal team and also with his family. And they're anxious to know, obviously, how he's doing. And I know the country is anxious to see him released. And so that'll be tomorrow. And I'll be sure to give you, of course, as soon as I'm done, we'll let you know how everything went. And Liam, he was wearing that cute hat and the backpack and everything in that picture that everybody's seen. And he has become emblematic of the monstrosity of the ICE system and the detention system. But the truth is, Liam will be one of many kids, young kids, 5 years old and younger, and some older than Liam, who were there in Dilly at that detention center. And that's part of the reason that you saw in the last few days there have been these protests by the folks who are detained there because it is inhumane to be keeping young kids like that in that place. And so over the years, during Democratic and Republican administrations, I've spoken out about how I don't believe these places are fit for kids and for others. These are folks, by and large, who have not committed crimes. We talk about immigration enforcement. I think all of us agree that if somebody's committed a violent crime, that they should be deported. That's not who these people are. The Trump administration has been vicious and brutal, and ICE has been vicious and brutal and lawless in going after hardworking people, law-abiding people, even targeting U.S. citizens. And since all of this happened with Liam, we saw what happened to Alex Preddy in Minnesota. I was glad to see that Greg Bovino got demoted. At first, we thought he'd gotten fired. Apparently, he got demoted and sent away. But rest assured, Tom Homan's not any better. And Tom Homan shouldn't even be on the job because he tried to take a bribe based on reporting that we've seen. And so I'll be there tomorrow. We'll report back to you. But I want you to know that your voice matters, that what you're doing matters. I know that sometimes people they start to feel hopeless and helpless in many ways, but it does matter. There are now, I think, more than 140 Democrats who have signed on to the resolution to impeach Kristi Noem. She should be impeached. She was always unqualified for the job, and so she should be gone. Either Donald Trump should fire her or she should be impeached. And so I think at this point, I believe at this point, every single Democrat in the House of Representatives should be able to sign on to that impeachment resolution. And even many Republicans should be able to sign on. And you've seen Republicans now in the House and the Senate issue some criticism of her. And so please keep going. Make sure that your voice is heard. It does make a difference. In the Senate this week, also, we have to make sure that they don't allow for funding for ICE and DHS. Remember, in this quote-unquote big, beautiful bill last year, ICE alone got something like $75 billion over a several-year period. But it basically was an amount that tripled their usual annual budget. So they don't need another dime. And they especially don't need another dime of taxpayer money when they're doing things like executing somebody on the street. And I don't say that lightly, and I think you all don't say that lightly. We saw the video, but we also saw the photos of after they had disarmed Alex Preddy He had a legal right to carry. He didn't pull a gun out on the agents. They disarm him, it's clear, and then that agent stands over him and shoots him. And even after he's lying there in the street, lifeless, they keep shooting him again and again. Those agents should be prosecuted immediately. So please keep speaking up. You're making a difference. And as soon as I have a chance to go to Dilly tomorrow and everything, I'll be back on here to let you know how everything went. All right? We'll see you.